Everyone knows the FIFA World Cup trophy. That golden figure lifted in slow motion, confetti raining down, history being written in real time. But here's the thing, most people only know what it looks like. So in this video today, we're going beyond the surface. These are 10 facts you didn't know about the World Cup trophy. And trust me, some of these completely change how you look at football's most famous prize. Number 10. The OG Trophy. Before the shiny gold trophy we know today, the original looked way more classical, almost like something straight out of a museum. It was designed by French sculptor Abel Lafleur, and early on it was simply called the Coupe du Monde, and the design itself, completely different vibe. Instead of two figures lifting the earth, this one featured Nike, the Greek goddess of victory, standing tall and holding an octagonal cup above her head. It stood about 35 centimeters tall and had this deep blue lapis lazuli base, which gave it a really elegant, almost royal look. Number 9. Jules Rimet, the man behind the World Cup. If you're not familiar with the name Jules Rimet, that's understandable, but without him, the World Cup probably doesn't exist the way we know it today. Rimet was FIFA's third president, and he held that role for 33 years, which still makes him the longest-serving president in FIFA history. But more importantly, he was the driving force behind the idea of a global football tournament. At a time when international football was mostly limited to the Olympics, Rimet pushed for something bigger. That vision became reality in 1930 when the first ever World Cup was held in Uruguay. And because of how central he was to making it happen, the original trophy wasn't just a design, it became a tribute. The trophy we talked about earlier, the one with the Greek goddess Nike, was officially named the Jules Rimet Trophy in his honor. So every time a team lifted that original trophy, they weren't just celebrating victory, they were lifting the legacy of the man who made the World Cup possible in the first place. Number 8. The trophy that went into hiding during World War II. Tournaments in 1942 and 1946 were cancelled and football took a back seat as the world fell into chaos. But here's the wild part. The trophy itself nearly got caught up in that chaos too. At the time, the Jules Rimet trophy was locked away in a bank vault in Rome. Sounds safe, right? Not really. With Nazi forces expanding across Europe, there was a real fear that valuables like this could be seized. So Ottorino Barassi, who was FIFA's vice president back then, decided not to take any chances. He went to the bank, took the trophy out himself, and hid it in the most unexpected place possible. A simple shoebox under his bed. No high security vault, no guards, just one man trusting that the last place anyone would look for one of football's biggest prizes was inside a bedroom. And somehow, it worked. For years, while the world was at war, the most important trophy in football sat quietly hidden in a house in Italy, waiting for the game to come back to life. Number 7. Detective Dog. The Jules Rimet Trophy, aka World Cup, made its way to England in 1966, months before the tournament was scheduled to be held in the UK. When the tournament was 4 months away, and while the trophy was making a public exhibition at Westminster Central Hall, it was stolen. Reports say that the thieves asked for a £15,000 ransom for them to release the trophy. Anyway, exactly 1 week after the heist, the trophy was found by Pickles, a white and black mongrel dog. Pickles found it at the bottom of a suburban garden hedge on Beulah Hill, Upper Norwood, South London. The Jules Rimet trophy was wrapped in newspaper when the dog found it during a walk with its owner, Dave Corbett. In appreciation, Dave was given a £6,000 reward and Pickles was given a lifetime supply of food. From then on, the English FA reportedly stopped using the original trophy for exhibitions. They made a replica for this purpose, but FIFA denied giving them permission for that. Because of that, the replica was hidden for years. It later resurfaced in 1997 when it was auctioned out to guess who? FIFA. They bought it for £254,500, a price so high that it led to rumours that that was not a replica, but the actual trophy that FIFA was buying back. Number 6. Brazil got to keep the original trophy. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. The original World Cup trophy isn't just retired, it was actually won. According to the original rules set by Jules Rimet, any nation that won the tournament 3 times would get to keep the trophy permanently. So that's exactly what happened. The Jules Rimet trophy was handed over to Brazil for good, making them the only country to ever own a World Cup trophy outright. It was then placed at the headquarters of the Brazilian Football Confederation in Rio de Janeiro, inside a display case with bulletproof glass. On paper, it was secure, protected, untouchable. Number 5. Trophy Heist. Just when you think this trophy story couldn't get any crazier, it gets stolen again. In 1983, 13 years after the Brazil national football team were given the Jules Rimet trophy, thieves broke into the Brazilian Football Confederation headquarters in Rio. The back of the display cabinet was made of wood, and the thieves simply forced it open with a crowbar and walked away with one of the most valuable trophies in sports history. 4 men were eventually caught and convicted, but the trophy itself gone. Never recovered. The most widely accepted theory is that it was melted down almost immediately and sold off, which means the original World Cup trophy, the one from 1930, no longer exists. The only surviving piece linked to it is the lapis lazuli base, which is now preserved at FIFA's headquarters in Zurich. As for Brazil, they didn't just sit with the loss. In 1984, they created a replica of the trophy and presented it to then President João Figueiredo. Number 4. A completely new trophy was born. Once the Jules Rimet trophy was permanently handed to Brazil, FIFA had a problem. They needed a new trophy, and this time they weren't going to play it safe. Instead of tweaking the old design, they started from scratch. FIFA received 53 different designs from sculptors across 7 countries, and in the end, the winning concept came from Italian artist Silvio Gazzaniga. And that design, that's the one we still see today. The current FIFA World Cup trophy stands about 36.8 centimeters tall, made from 18-karat gold, with a base featuring 2 layers of green malachite. It's heavier, more dynamic, and way more modern than the original. As of recent estimates, its value sits at over $150,000, though realistically, it's priceless. What really makes it special is the idea behind it. Gazzaniga described it as a moment frozen in time. 2 human figures rising from the base, lifting the world upward, almost like the game itself is being carried by the players. Number 3. Can win it but can't keep it. Back in the day, champions used to keep the original until the next tournament cycle. That's how things worked with the Jules Rimet trophy era, but after everything that happened, including thefts and security risks, FIFA changed the rules. Now, when a team wins, they lift the real FIFA World Cup trophy on the pitch, but they don't take it home. Instead, they're given a gold-plated replica, officially known as the FIFA World Cup Winners' Trophy. It looks almost identical, but it's not solid gold like the original. The real trophy? That stays under tight security at the FIFA World Football Museum in Zurich, Switzerland. So when you see players celebrating with it, just know they're holding history for a moment. Then they have to give it back. Number 2. Not what it looks like. That golden globe at the top of the FIFA World Cup trophy looks solid, right? It's not. According to Martin Polyakov, the ball has to be hollow because if it were actually solid gold, the trophy would weigh something ridiculous around 70 kilograms. And imagine that for a second. Players aren't just lifting it up, they're holding it above their heads, celebrating, passing it around. There's no way that works if it's basically the weight of a fully grown person. Right now, the trophy weighs just over 6 kilograms, which is still heavy, but manageable in that moment of celebration. Number 1. Running out of space. Since 1974, every World Cup winner has had their name engraved on the base of the trophy, and based on current estimates, there's only space left for a handful more champions. Once that space is gone, that's it. No more names can be added, which means at some point FIFA will have to make a decision, either redesign the base or introduce an entirely new trophy for future tournaments. And when you think about it, that moment isn't that far away. So here's the real question. Which countries do you think will take those final spots on football's most iconic prize? And who's next in line to get their name etched into history? If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know your picks in the comments below. Because the race isn't just for the World Cup anymore, it's for a place on the trophy itself.